Hello there, Arturo. All right, great work here. I love the way you just simplify the question as well. It's a great skill to have. So well done, man. Encouraging future graduates to work before going to college is the perfect way to prepare them for the future. Good. I believe it provides students, check your capitalization there, students with a higher sense of responsibility, singular. Okay, article with a higher sense of responsibility, or even with a sense of responsibility. Either way, the article is necessary, which would be very useful later in life. Good. You could also say which would be very useful. Additionally, getting a work position after high school is a good way to stimulate their minds. This essay analyzes some of the benefits students may gain, check your tent, from working prior to university education. Check the prepositions and stuff with prior. If you want, you can write out 5 sentences with prior, and then send them in to me for correction with your next essay, just to drill it into your mind. What could we use instead of good? Okay. Also here we could use attending. Yeah. Here maybe obtaining, and here valuable or invaluable way. Yeah. And this kind of vocabulary is better than the basic one, which is good, going to, and getting. Okay. Don't only do it when you're certain. Okay. But look here, we've got repetition, so we're going to say obtaining or even landing a job before starting university is of value for youngsters. Yeah? Anyway, firstly, university education requires a high degree of responsibility. Good. This is largely because students are not told what to do anymore by parents or teachers, so it is up to them to manage their own time to study. Good. Finding a job before enrolling in higher education can help them to become more responsible. Perfect. Additionally, good. I like the fact you've got this additionally in there. Teaches the importance of punctuality. For instance, if students were irresponsible and unpunctual, they would be disciplined by their bosses. Good. Boss can be interpreted as informal. So you could say by their superiors, by management, by their supervisor. Okay, there's lots of possibilities there. If there was a repetitive behavior with timekeeping and responsibility, these would be eventually fired. Okay, if there was a repetitive problem with regarding timekeeping and responsibility, eventually the candidate would be fired, or these candidates would eventually be fired, or these employees. Okay. Also, it is good you've got that sentence there, but it would be better. Well, we've already got a conditional there. Okay, so we don't need two. And it's kind of obvious as well. You said disciplined by the bosses. You're pretty much saying the same thing again. Okay, so that would be classed as redundant. So just be careful there. Therefore, getting a job before going to university is of value for youngsters. Great. Just remember what I said about before: landing a job, starting university is of clear value. Just to emphasize it a little bit more, it's of definite value. Variations there to improve the language we're using. Secondly, entering the workforce has a positive stimulating effect on the mind. I would have said often has, or usually has, or definitely has, okay? Because, well, maybe not definitely, but we need to introduce a bit of hedging, okay? Because that statement isn't totally correct. For example, some people might argue entering the workforce, working in McDonald's might not be stimulating effect for the mind, or working in a factory, doing the same thing, same task, 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, 5 days a week. That might not be stimulating, it might be the absolute opposite. So just be careful there. That's why we need to hedge. This is because sharing new ideas with colleagues from work impacts positively. Okay, there's a difference between entering the workforce and sharing new ideas. Okay? So we've just jumped concepts there. all right? Anyway, this is because sharing your ideas with colleagues from work impacts positively the way things are perceived. So things is very vague here. What are we talking about? Okay. In addition, working with people from different backgrounds make individuals more tolerant to other cultures. Good. Recent research is always plural, recent research from the Psychology Department of the University of Liverpool in the UK, good, has found that students who work for a minimum of 6 months before enrolling into university are more likely to succeed in their first university studies. They cope better with stress. Fantastic. Write the number 6, SIX. Okay, well, that's great. Really good sentence there. Be careful. We can say a recent study, or we can say recent research from, but the rest of that sentence was perfect. Apart from that, it was great work. Therefore, having a job before university is fine. It's a perfect way for students to prepare themselves for the future. Good. Just this bit needs to be, I like the fact that you're putting 2 additional points, okay, but that's weak, and that is also weak as well, okay, for the reasons I said before. It's like vague, so if we could have just re-engineered those sentences so they correlate more to your argument, which is in the second part, that would be much, much better. Okay, Arturo? But apart from that, it's fantastic, and I love the fact that your paragraphs are strong and coherent, because we're following the sentence guide, and yeah, you've got a good ability with the English language as well. So well done there. To conclude, working before tertiary education is began has no. Okay. To conclude, working before tertiary education begins has a positive effect on students. It provides, okay, and then if we say it provides, we're using 2 words instead of 3, which is more succinct, more concise, more direct, and that's good practice when writing in English. It provides a sense of responsibility as we expand their minds. Did we talk about expanding minds here? I don't think there was much about expanding minds here. Tolerant, okay. There is a weak link between expanding minds and becoming more tolerant. But usually when we're talking about expanding minds, we're talking about thinking of like vast new concepts, you know, like, I don't know, a university based on the moon. That's a very mind-expanding idea, yeah? So, what could we say instead? It does provide a sense of responsibility and higher cultural awareness, yeah? Other cultures. That's more relevant. It links better, yeah? It's predicted that students will be encouraged in high school to sign up for work before starting university. Excellent. Excellent work. Excellent way to finish it. Great work. So you know what to do now, Arturo. Implement all the corrections, make a list of the mistakes, and then send me your 2 new essays along with what I just said. And yeah, sorry for the small delay as well. Hopefully we'll be getting back into a normal system soon. The pie charts represent the income invested in different sectors of 3 countries, Queensland, Timsland and Jimsland in 2014 according to the IMF. Good. Queensland spent $10,000 of its income in light industry, while Timland invested 40,000 USD. Good. In addition, Jimsland expenditure in light industry was 70,000. Good. Very, very good summary. We did miss an opportunity to say was considerably greater at 70,000. Yeah? Just because it was a very good example of like that being the leader or the most. Okay? Good opportunity for superlatives. Was the greatest. Yeah? Natural resources represent the lowest investment. There we go. Good work. Queensland, Timsland and Jimsland with 3,000, 4,000, 7,000 respectively. Good. Well done with respectively. Service sector accounted for the majority of the money spent by Jimsland in 2014, recorded at 96,000. Okay, with almost 100,000. Yeah? Slightly fancier. almost 100,000, comma, whereas Bensland spent just 20,000 USD. Timsland invested double of that. Okay, another example of if you want to research double, how to use double, research it, then write out 10 sentences using double so we master this little facet or this little skill. Yeah. However, Timland invested double. See, whereas Timland's invested 40,000 in what was it? In the service sector. Okay. Whereas Timland's investment in the service sector at 40,000 was double that of Bensland expenditure of 20,000. Okay, because I'm assuming this 40,000 is related to Timsland, so let's keep it nearer to Timsland in the sentence before we start talking about Bensland. I'll make it crystal clear with commas. Okay, good work. Bensland's highest investment was in agriculture with 45,000 US dollars, followed by Timsland with 35,000 US dollars and with only 15. Good. Contrast, heavy industry accounted for the majority of the income invested by Timsland, recorded at 70,000. Both Timsland spent the same amount of money in heavy industry with 15,000. Good, good, good. Be careful of capitalization, that wasn't necessary. Overall, natural resources accounted for the lowest investment of all three countries, and the leading investment varied depending on the country. Okay? Well done though for that observation at the end, but it was half finished. Excellent work there, Arturo. So remember what I said before, implement all the corrections, update your error list, send me the error list, the corrected essays, and 2 new essays. Okay? Have a great day.